Welcome to the Keyforge Premier League. Hey, it's Jupiter back from Manlius, New York, and I'm just here to let you guys know some updates about what's going on. This weekend, we are stoked. We are having our first kickoff event for the Premier League qualifiers, and we are getting really great numbers. I thank you all for all the people who have signed up and who are still looking to sign up. Get some spots. I know that the UK version is up to like 56 people already, and the US is not too far behind it. You can play in both if you can swing it, but you can't win both. So once you win one, you're done. But you can enter both. This weekend we are doing the sealed deck format, and I know a lot of you guys have questions about how it's going to be done. Simply on the challenge check-in, you can read the write-up that we put there. But basically, it is that we're going to have a Swiss Keyforge event with a cut to top 8, which will be single elimination. You will be given 3 decks by the TOs. That will be me and Carl for each time zone respectively, and Z will probably be helping out. We'll be helping each other out, but the leads for the events are going to be me and Carl. So if you have questions, we would be the ones that answer you and give you any kind of status updates and stuff about your participation in the tournament. We do ask that you guys follow the rules that we put out for you guys. If you fail to comply with any of the rules that we put out, you will be dropped from the tournament. And I'm sorry if that comes untimely for you and stuff like that. Disconnections and things like that will not be things that we are very keen with. So um, we will work with you to get this done as best we can, but at the same time, it is an online event, so sometimes things might just not be great for the connection or for whatever it is or whatever reason it is. So we will have more details about those specific guidelines when the tournament starts, and we'll basically tell you what the tolerances are and things like that. But with that said, also you're going to be given 3 decks. We're having a 2-hour prior to event registration opening on Challenge. So you can basically come into Challenge, you can register on Challenge, and then you can immediately proceed to the Discord channel where your name on Challenge and your name on Discord should be the same. We're asking you to change your Discord name to whatever your Challenge name is, or vice versa. We would like to see them be exactly the same, so that way there's no doubt when people are looking for their opponents, and there's no doubt of like who is where and what, and it just helps with the smoothness of the tournament. So in the Kpl Discord, change your name to match your challenge name, or change your challenge name to match your Discord name. Whichever way you want to do it, that is a requirement for this event. If we can't find you and you get skipped because of something like that, that's not something we can be forgiving of, because we're putting it out to you here and we're mentioning it in the Discord channel as well. If you are not in the Discord channel yet, make sure you get there. It is a mandatory thing for the event. You don't have to talk to your opponents, but we've set up tables so that people can actually sit in their tables and play the game against each other. We're going to limit the size of the tables to 3 people, because I will be bouncing in and out of different places. I do ask that if you are not in a person's game, you do not join a table. That's simple. If you do, you might be subject to being kicked out of the server, because this is for the integrity of the game's sake. I don't want people to have a unnecessary advantage in any given way, especially like with them the way they're playing. We will also say that you should always play with your hands concealed. Um, I don't need, if I'm popping into your game to watch you, I can figure out what's going on. I don't need what's in your hand. It's more fun to speculate anyway, and I don't want you to risk any and compromise anything about your gameplay when you guys are playing these events. So with that said, this isn't the league. Like, the league will be different when you're actually in the league. There'll be different rules and stuff, because we'll be recording all the games and we will want to see hands and things like that. But it'll also be a very confined event, so that way people can't there's no way you're going to get an advantage off it, because the stuff is being recorded and then released later at a later date. So with that said, let's see what else we got. The bins. The reason we're having a 2-hour check-in window before the event is because as soon as you check in on challenge, you're going to report to Discord, and there will be a Discord channel saying, CKM qualifier, 5PK qualifier. Enter that channel and basically say, I've registered in challenge. We will check your challenge and registration and basically say, um, we'll basically say that you're good to go, you're fine and dandy, and we are ready to proceed. Here's your bucket, and we're going to give you a bucket number, and we're going to give you 3 decks. And out of that, basically, you're going to report back on the Google form. You're going to basically open a Google form from that is in challenge, and we'll probably put a link up for it in the Discord as well and pin it so that way you guys can see it. But you're going to fill out this Google form, and the Google form is going to basically have you. Actually, I can take you to it. Let's do this as a courtesy here. Let me open this up. 1 second, and we will get you there. So what is going to happen is I will use my form. The forms are going to be the same on either thing, so bear with me while we switch monitors. Bloop, bloop. How do I close my other? That's what I want, and now I got to close my big fat head. Sorry, doop. Switch to the little guy, little me in the corner. But here you go. Let me move this logo as well. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. You're going to link into this page like this, and the page is going to ask you what bucket were you assigned, mandatory field, because this is how we're going to verify that the deck you're putting in is legitimate. Then you're going to tell us what your Discord name is, which should be the same as your challenge name. That's why it says Discord/challenge should be the same, to just remind you that they should be the same. So make sure that they match. And then what deck it is that you're actually choosing from the 3 of the bucket that we gave you. This is how we're going to verify every single deck that is played in the tournament to make sure that people are not cheating and bringing in their own decks. And this is basically, this is your contract saying this is what is going on and this is what's happening. And if we are doing deck checks and we're going through all these and we're checking the registrations against the buckets and stuff, if we find anybody has cheated, we will automatically disqualify you from the tournament. You will be kicked out and you will no longer be allowed to play in any other qualifier. That's simple. We take cheating very seriously. We're not going to tolerate it, and this is one of those things where we're just basically putting in a you know a warning long beforehand. Not saying that anybody will, but we're going to be very strict on the guidelines for cheating, and we don't want people to be cheating. So, with that said, we will move forward. Again, if you do not know how to register or do any of this stuff, there are all the guidelines written out on the actual website. So let me take you there real quick. We'll go over this one more time just to make sure people know. Let's actually visit the site. This is my Matterate. So to get to the Keyforge Premiere, I added a new button here too called Keyforge News. This is where I'm going to do my own little news blogs and stuff like that. So if you want to read up some about, how my mindset is about things and stuff, this is really like if you have a piece that you want to write and you want to add to this, like feel free. I will add anybody. I just ask that you give me your logo to put next to it so you have credit for it, and then you can write whatever you want that's newsworthy, and I'll be glad to post it for the community to read about. This is about organized play shutting down for the rest of 2020. But the real place you want to go is right here to the Keyforge Premier League news. This is where all the updates and stuff are happening as we go. I've already updated Phil on the main page for sign-ins for the APAC event. He has already done that. So if you come to the main page here, this is where you check in again. You can click on this to get to that Kfpl news if you so desire, or you can click on the actual Kfpl news link and get here. But on this main page, if you scroll down, this is where all the challenge events are located, right? Where you can sign up, and we're basically updating them as we go. So as you can see here, this challenge says click on the image below, click on the image above. So it's very directed to if you want to sign up for the EU time zone events, the Crazy Killing Machine. This is where you do it. So if you click on this icon, it will take you right to the event that is open for that. So every week it will be updated. When this event ends, we're going to immediately we're going to immediately set up the next event for the next week, which the next weekend will be sealed solo, so like Archon solo. So, or not sealed Archon solo. Sorry, that is a mistake. It's just Archon solo. You bring your own deck, you play it, you win, you lose. Good, that's the bit of it, right? So and that again will be a Swiss tournament into a bracket of 8. The top 2 people that qualify for the finals will both get admittance into the league. So with that said, that's that, and that's how you sign up on Challenge. If you can't find us on Challenge, you can get simply through here through the www.keyforgepremierleague.com site. Also notice now that this Phil emblem is now open, and it is taking registrations for the tournament on the 19th and the 20th of September. This is going to be a triad event, and you can see that it is already starting to fill up. We have people showing up and basically signing in. So we will see what comes of this. This is going to be great, and thank you so much again to Philip McKay for helping us out and putting us in a place where we can offer this to the APAC community and on a weekend where we might have not had anything to do because a lot of us are busy. My daughter is getting married this weekend, so on this weekend, so I will not be in town. I will be driving down to see her wedding, and then I'll be coming back. I might get back by Sunday, but I doubt it. Like not in any time to where my brain would be not fried. So that with that said, um, trying to make sure I touch on everything. The podcast, make sure you're listening to our podcast. That helps support the channel. Like it helps support my prize pool, everything else. If you click on support the league right here, this link, it'll take you to my store. You can buy decks, which helps support the prize pool as well. Everything that is um, everything that is Keyforge for me now is vested into this project. So any profits that I make off of anything I do, this is where the money is going. So I'm going to be using it for prize pools, out of pocket prize pools, and things like that. So any support you give me is helpful. But I will never have a Patreon. I've decided I do not want to do that because I do not want to produce more content. And I think that I'd rather give you a token for your donation. So if you wanted to donate something, just pick a deck that's up there for sale that has a sale marker on it. And make an offer with it, and then pay the shipping, and that is all the support I need. If you don't need to do that, that's fine too. I have other ways that I'm doing it, like just listening to the podcasts multiple times and listening to them. I get pennies per listen, so that helps a little bit too. That gets us pushing in the right direction. And then as soon as we establish some kind of repertoire, maybe we'll start looking for sponsors to help with the prize pools and stuff like that to get the money up. There's a lot of things like in motion here as we try to create this professional content for you and give you the proper channel for Keyforge that I want to create for you. So it's a community-driven thing. Without the community, I couldn't do it. I'm very thankful for all the partners that have been putting into it and are going to put into it. There's a lot of work that's got to be done. This first season is pretty critical. It's going to be not without flaws and mistakes, but we're going to do our very best, and we're going to fix it as we go, and we're going to do and create all the content that we can to make things great for you. If you can hear Harlan laughing in the background, he's a little bit manic right now. Sorry, when you get my little blurbs like this, you might always get some Harlan because he's my autistic son and he does like tend to make noise that I cannot filter out because he's always on the move. So you never know what you're gonna get with Harlan. He might even run in here and pop me sometime. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so make sure you're keeping up with the Keyforge news on the website. Make sure that you're keeping up with the Kfpl news, which is going to always be directly affected by the actual league. So that will give you any updates that you need and stuff like that. It'll be updated as we go. Right now, it's basically in its premiere mode, like where it's just talking about everything. Don't forget that we have some of the reasons to play in the APAC tournament is that we have 4 spots available in the APAC tournament. And then on the 26th of September, there will be a format that is going to pay out 8 spots. Now, whatever we have posted here as like what we have as for Archon adopted and the number of spots for this one will be at a bargain. Like we haven't chosen the actual full format if it's going to be Swiss or round robin or whatnot, but everything is subject to change up until the event. So if something changes, it's probably because we're trying to make it fairer or make it more manageable. So, hang out and stay with us. The Swiss for this weekend and the Swiss for the solo Archon, those are locked in. I'm pretty sure that's how we're going to run those because those are all basically the top 2 people who make it to the end are going to get spots. But for the APAC tournament, like in the other tournament, like we'll see what we can come up with to make it more fair for people to get these spots and qualify. So stay tuned for any updates on those. We will make sure we post them well in advance of the tournament to give you guys a better understanding of how we're trying to get these spots filled. So I will say that the sealed and the single Archon and the sealed events will definitely be Swiss into a single elimination. Top 2 basically at the end will get spots into the Keyforge Premier League. So after these next 2 weeks, we'll have 8 more spots filled, and we'll have 12 left to go. And then we're going to get into the bigger prize pools with the APAC tournament having 4, and then the last chance qualifier, which will be on UK time, starting at 9 a.m. UK, which is +1 GMT at this point. to as kind of the center point of the world going both ways. It will be inconvenient for some. I know. I can't help it. We want to basically just have one big blowout event with dividing these 8 spots up as best as we can to give people the best percentage chance of winning and getting into a spot if they haven't. So we haven't fully worked out what or how that's going to be. All we know there is that we are going to make it Archon adaptive because we want it to be what the league is mirroring. So this is why the last one is Archon adaptive. But we've given everybody at least a taste of what they like with sealed, single Archon, and Triad to get a chance to play their way into the tournament. So. Hopefully that makes all makes sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always available to answer questions or concerns. I'm always willing to try to take into account anything that is constructive feedback. And I am really excited like that this is like really getting close and we're getting close to and we're almost to that point to where you're going to really start to see what it is that we want to do with this league. And I'm still writing my thesis, so I am a little bit distant sometimes, but I do check in daily, multiple times daily when I get the opportunity and my kids aren't going crazy, right? Yeah. So, kid break, and those aren't even my kids that cause all the trouble. So, anyway, so that's what it is. That's what is going to be, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, please reach out to us if you have any questions. All the stuff is written in on the page, so you can check it out at the KeyforgePremierLeague.com. That's where all the information is. Also, remember that on the main page of the Keyforge Premier League, you have all our social networks here. You have the Twitter, the YouTube, the Twitch. The link is the Discord is right here, and then there's also links in the writing that will take you to the Discord. And if you want to just shoot me an email, there's an email option here as well that you can use to send me an email and ask me whatever you like. And I will do my best to always answer these questions and give you the proper answer as to why we are in agreement with you or in opposition to you. It's not going to always be perfect, but we try our best, and I hope that you are enjoying the presentation and the build to what will be an epic premiere of the Keyforge Premier League.